Hey guys, don't mind the hair. We're still rocking with the same flow. Different story. How you guys doing today? It's a great day for me. Silver hairs. All right, let's get to it. As I was saying, have you ever felt like no matter what you do, you're still gonna start back at square one or somewhere close to it? There could be an energy pressing against you that's trying to hinder you. As you know, if you don't have no haters, you're not popping right. Well, the chosen ones, we have haters on haters. You know, all my life I've had to deal with this one particular person pressing against me. Obviously, that could be a family member or friend or whatever, whatever. Same spirit, same spirit all my life. I put in a lot of work, so it's not that. It's it's a determined spirit that just tries over and over again to stop me. I can put out three messages, and behind the scenes, the message carriers on the way to send the messages will be getting tripped up, decide to take a day off or etc. 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 That's how the evil moves. They know you can be a hard worker. They work behind the scenes in groups and etc. etc. The same energy I dealt with all 2024 is just about it's starting to try and creep up again. I can feel it. Some people say this, some people say that, as in just do this, just do that, as if it's that simple or whatever. Well, I look at it kind of like this, right? If I know that I'm going to be feeling a type of way if things go this way, then why were things made that way in the first place? Okay. You say free will, but I put in all this effort and still get the same results. Is that really free will? Is it really just a game, which it is, that we have to overcome? The real chosen ones know that it's a lot of BS going on. If you don't know that, then you're just in la la land, you're in this, you're in that. Because there's an underlying BS that you come to conclusion with after, you know, doing the same thing over and over again, going up against the same obstacles or going up against the same spirit, and you trying 1,000 different ways and you still getting the same result. And you've reached out in 1,000 different ways trying to get the answer, and you're still being held up just about against this one thing. Even on, let's just say, God mode, right? You're being held up against this one thing. I expect NPCs not to get this, but real chosen ones, the real out there, the ones that I really resonate with, you know, I expect you guys to really dig in and really get what we're up against here. For instance, let me give you an example. Imagine someone traveling somewhere and they're on the side of the road. For some reason, they don't have gas. Whether blah 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 blah. They don't have gas or whatever, and someone finally stops by and reaches out to them and says, "Hey, I can give you gas. I can give you this much amount of gas." So it looks like a miracle, right? Bam. You're like, wow, it's a miracle. Somebody finally stopped to give me gas. Out of all the people that went by, out of the thousands of feet around that I don't see any, blah, 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 civilization, whatever, whatever. Somebody comes by and gives you gas. They went and got you some gas. It's a miracle, right? You fill up the gas tank as much as it'll let you fill it up, and you get to driving. You're like, wow, I'm really being looked after, blah, blah, blah. And you keep driving, and you keep driving, and you start to notice that the gas tank is starting to become E again. You're like, what the freak? All right, let me just keep going. And then you see a sign that says 30 miles to next gas station. And then out of nowhere, the tank just goes on E. It's over with. So not only are you out of gas, but in this situation, let's just say you're even further away from being able to get gas. So you're in a worse position than you were before you got the gas. Let's just say if you would have went the other way, there would have been a gas station right there, blah, blah, blah. But you just kept going straight. Not that it's your fault or anything, because you're just going in a direction, you're going to where you were going. So imagine that you get pump faked with the miracle, but only to realize that it's just a setup for a worse position. That would pretty much infuriate anybody that just steadily goes through something like that, or someone that just ran out of patience for just putting in all the work, right? You know, especially in a situation of that caliber where you're out here in the world stranded. Really, really crazy situation. So just imagine that. Some people just might say, oh, it's a miracle. You should be thankful that you got the gas. No, it didn't help you. It put you in a worse situation. If somebody would have came along with more than enough gas to get you to your situation, now that is a miracle to me. So basically, if you don't get what you're going after, then what was it for? Just to make you madder? Just to make you more unsettled? Just to put you out the way even more? Some people might say, it's a sign to go the other way. Well, you already went 1,000 other ways, like I said earlier. So what is it really? Like I said, NPC is not really gonna get it. They don't really know the caliber of work put in, or, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But just think about what I just told you. And there's somebody out there that's really going through this other than me. You know what I mean? So it's just the idea of just being given just enough, or not even that, to be caught up in the same loop, same situation, or worse. And I've spoken beyond the situation multiple times over many times that I won't be in worse situations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not having anxiety about the situation or anything like that, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not attracting it to me, nothing like that. So let's try this way also. If you know someone's heart and they have a great supportive family and they want to support the family, you know, that they have, and every day they go after, you know, goals of money or money, and you don't give that to them, or you know what they're trying to go for is a great cause in your eyes, but you don't give it to them, then what is that? What is that really? A person really out here doing all of what they can and still not getting anywhere over thousands of trials, over 1,000 different ways? What is this really? You see what I mean? Only a real chosen one will really understand what was going on in such a situation. I'm reaching out to you guys to wake you up, to wake you up, you know what I mean? To, you know, when you're a kid, you don't realize a lot of stuff that's going on, per se, about the system, the matrix, et cetera, et cetera. But as you start to become wiser. You start to realize things, and you say, well, why am I doing this? How does this help me? This is not going to put me in the situation that I want to be in. You know, their opinions don't matter. Their opinions do kind of matter. You know, et cetera, et cetera. So, NPCs, stay out of this. I don't want to hear nothing from you guys at all. You guys are too far behind to be commenting on these videos. Definitely don't want to hear anything from you. I want to hear from real chosen ones, real helpful. How can the real chosen overcome situations like this? Have you ran into situations like this? Comment, spam it up below, like the video. We're open for conversation in the comments. Let's just see what's going on. Not NPCs, like I said, NPCs, stay out of it. If you don't know what's going on, you just keep away. You're not gonna help anything. You're so many lifetimes behind, if that. So yeah, thank you guys for joining here today, kicking it with me. Thank you for, putting up with my hair. See, if you can't look past my hair, then you shouldn't be here in the first place. For sure. It's just hair, right? I got other videos where my afro is, more symmetrical. So click on that video or just go somewhere else on YouTube. Thank you for YouTube for pushing my video in the algorithm. And putting my numbers up. I remember a time where they weren't doing that, and I wasn't thanking them. So, just to be frank, which I am not Franklin, then, just keep your eyes open and realize, I think if a lot of people would realize their end goal for that season, for their life, for their existence, then that would change a lot of, what they're doing, because they would then realize that what they're doing is not enough, or what they're doing is just not in the right direction. So a lot of people need to focus on their goals and need to have the right kind of goals. If the goals go against what I'm doing, I don't want you to focus on none of that. Focus on none of that. And just keep being an NPC or wake up. Wake up!